If you've ever wanted to drink out of your favorite character's head, I've got good news for you. There are a lot of options out there, including just for Jabba's Palace characters, and I kind of wanted to list them up for you today. I've got a number of these that I've had on display for years in my office, and I thought maybe it's time to recycle my displays a little bit and put something new there, so I'm going to be putting these in storage for a little while. But before I do that, I wanted to kind of record them for posterity. What we have here in front of us are Sigma Ceramics mugs that were made in 1983 for Return of the Jedi. I know I've made a whole video about Sigma Ceramics, other ones, but I left out the mugs on purpose just so I could sort of devote an entire video just to them. These, of course, are the Gamorrean Guard and Klaatu mugs. You can see that they're shaped like the head of the character, and in that sense they're kind of following the tradition of the Toby jugs from hundreds of years ago in England. And that's a thing that still exists even, among collectors today. I think these are pretty cute, pretty clever little collectibles to have. I don't know how practical they are. They also seem a little bit on the, rough side, shall we say. Like, you can see what appear, anyway, to be brush strokes all over here on the back. Looks like almost like someone's art project or something like that, and less like a commercial product. And you get some of that on here too. But that kind of adds to their charm to some degree. I also have one other mug from Sigma in the 80s, and that is this one right here. We have Lando in his Skiff Guard disguise. Now, of course, they did make other ones like, Darth Vader and so forth, but I just picked out the Jabba's Palace ones to put into my collection. Now, unfortunately, they did not make a Jabba mug, which seems like a bit of an oversight, although, I don't know, maybe there was something to do with the time between when these had to be produced and when the movie was coming out. They kept Jabba's design a secret for a while, and so, these ones might be what they had access to. Who knows? Anyway, these are the three oldest in my collection, but I also have some from the next decade, in the 90s, made by Applause, so let me show you those. So first off, we have another Gamorrean Guard, very popular for these kinds of mugs for some reason. It's also nicely sculpted, although I think it's not quite as charming as the other one, for whatever reason. In fact, we can probably just compare them side by side here. They're similar in size, in other words, quite large, although this is even larger. Yeah, not bad. We also have, again, from Applause, if we look on the bottom, it says here 1996, I believe. We have this one. Now, every time I catch a glimpse of this one out of the corner of my eye, I keep thinking that it's Anakin Skywalker, from the prequels. But no, this is supposed to be Jedi Luke. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure what it is about it. It doesn't quite capture Luke exactly for me, but still, it's nice to have in the collection. And we also have Bib Fortuna, which is definitely an interesting choice. Not everyone wants to drink their morning coffee right out of this guy's face, but it's pretty cool that they made him. There you can see the 360 of him there. It is quite well sculpted, I think. But again, Applause in the 90s did not make a Jabba mug, which, again, I never quite understood. Luckily, in modern times, so like since, I don't know, 2015-ish or so, there have been some other options. So let's take a look at those. I believe the first one was this Jabba mug from ThinkGeek, and this, I suppose, is a little bit different than the other ones in that it's not just his head, but it's close enough, I think, to qualify. This is a very, very interesting one. I really like the way this is shaped. It's got this really thick tail that attaches up here that becomes the handle. This would hold quite a lot of fluid, I think. Not a toy, it says. And it doesn't have a date in it, but I think it was around 2017 that this came out. And so I was really kind of relieved once they finally did come out with some kind of a Jabba figural mug, but they weren't finished. ThinkGeek themselves, in the same year, I believe, did come out with this, which is not entirely a mug, but could be used for drinking out of, theoretically, or could be used for liquids. It's a snack bowl with Jabba's gaping mouth. I made a video where I mentioned this one as well, but I just thought I would include it for the heck of it. Oh, by the way, about this ThinkGeek one, it sure looks to me like this is supposed to be Jabba's tongue sticking out here, but they decided not to paint it, maybe because it would add one more step to the process if they had to do like a red there or something. But it's just kind of interesting to note. Later on, we also had this guy. This is, of course, a Funko Pops Jabba in mug form. So we've got several layers of abstraction here, because we have to have Jabba as a Funko Pop, and then we have to turn that Funko Pop into a mug. Some people, and myself included to some degree, find it a little bit hard even to recognize Jabba once you've gone this far, but it's still pretty cool, especially if you're a fan of the old Funko Pops. This was included in one of the subscription boxes that they had at the time. I'll put the name of it down here because I can't remember. But yeah, not bad. These were available quite cheaply on the aftermarket because not everyone wanted them. They got them in their subscription boxes and decided they would just try and sell them on eBay. And most recently, I believe, from 2020, we have this one, which was a Target exclusive in conjunction with Disney's Galaxy's Edge, I believe. This is, of course, Jabba and Salacious Crumb in a kind of stuffed animal, handmade stuffed animal style. But you've also got the handle looking like his hookah pipe and frog bowl, which I thought was a nice little touch. So very cool. I don't think any of these things are available new anymore, but they're not particularly expensive on the secondary market, so you can always check out eBay if you're interested. Do you have any of these kinds of figural mugs, and do you actually use them? Because I have a tendency to want to just sort of put them up on a shelf, and at most I'll put some pens and pencils or something in them. I don't actually drink out of most of these, but I still really like having them in my collection. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. The original idea for this video actually came from a Patreon supporter of mine. Thanks for the idea, Corey. Sorry it took so long to actually get made. And of course, my thanks also go to the rest of my Patreon supporters, including Angelica Brady, Jesper Mertu, and the rest of my Palace VIPs. If you'd like to see how you can support the channel for as little as $1 a month, click the link in the video description.